Hello, everybody. I hope your day is going well. We only have like 2 weeks till Christmas? No, not even that. It is. No, it is that. It's 2 weeks and 3 days till Christmas. So I hope you're all in the mood. Hi, Sharon. I hope you're doing well. And your weather is not too bad yet. Here it's kind of cold, but we have to deal with it. Anyway, what I thought is, because I know I pretty much do this every holiday, make some kawaii earrings that are good for grown-ups and for children, the same. And I'm trying to do them differently each year, so that's what we are going to do. And I'm going to have to use my read enablers, right? And the thing is that what you have to keep in mind that on each and every one that I'm showing you, you need to bake them first, because otherwise you can place the ice screw before baking, but trust me, it's much easier to do that after baking. If you do not have one of those little hand drills to poke holes, then you can poke the hole before baking, but nevertheless, even if you bake it with the ice screw on, my suggestion is to take the ice screw off, put a little bit of glue on it, and then screw it back together. The glue that I like to use always, that I found that works the best, let me actually get in where's my list? Hold on, I need to get in my Amazon. Changed everything when it comes to the influencer stores, and it's so hard to find everything anymore. Well, the thing that upsets me the most is the fact that I cannot rearrange, because before I was able to arrange things, move them up or down to keep things proper. And now I cannot do that anymore. So what I was talking about is something called, it's from the Loctite brand. This is the one, and I see it's on sale right now. But it's a 2-part Loctite. And the thing that I like the most about it is the fact that, you know how with other glues that are just one part, you have the, if you don't close it very easy, and yes, you can find this in my Amazon influencer store. Let me see. But the thing is that if you don't close it properly, it's going to start drying up. Hello. And the whole tub is ruined. But with this 2-part one, you just pour a little bit, it's equal parts, and you just pour a little bit and use how much you want. But because it doesn't harden unless the 2 parts are together, you will not lose it. I just wrapped some aluminum foil around the tops. Sometimes they come with a little cap for that, sometimes they don't. So, but that is my recommendation for glue to use. Okay, I don't need you up here anymore. Well, it does not want to close. So let's start on making some stuff. One of the things that I realized I didn't do before is a little Christmas penguin. And to make things easy, And I'm going, as usual, I'm going to make them a little bit bigger than I would normally do. So, you know what, this is a little bit too strong. So I'm using the smallest cutter from the round cutters, circle cutter series of Primo. And I'm going to simply make a bead. And you just go with it until you don't see any more folding lines. All right, and then I'm going to take a little bit of black, and I'm going to go with it through the machine on a thin setting. And then I'm going to use the same cutter, and I'm going to cut it about, see, I'm right in the middle here. So by the way, I went to Goodwill yesterday and I cannot even begin to tell you how many organizers I found. A ton. But I only needed one because I have a ton of organizers myself. But you might want to... Okay, so you see how I'm slowly wrapping it? So you put it kind of like beyond half of your bead. And then very gently bring this down here to get it properly. And then give another little twirl with your hands. And I guess I had something on my hand. Okay, so I'm going to prepare some, you know what, let me get this closer. And OBS had an update, and it messed up the cameras thing again. I hate it when they do these kind of updates. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is to do two tiny eyes. So this should be pretty much enough. And you want it to be round and flattened. And again, oops. I keep losing it. Oh, I lost it. This is the thing when you work with very tiny stuff. It's funny. And yes, I know I need to trim my nails shorter, but it's such a pain. Okay, now the other thing that we need to do at this point, if we want our little penguin to be prettier, is we are going to give it a little bit of shine. And I have a tiny little bit of white here. I'm going to take one, find it, and place it. And it didn't get placed. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I was thinking of making this a storytelling live. So I might, if I start telling stories, don't be surprised. Just make sure that you put them in the exact same spot, both of them. Hey. And make sure that they are not deformed in any way. So time to put them. In place. And then we need a little nub for, and I didn't put them properly in place. This was supposed to be higher. There we go. And let me give it another roll. And then we give it a tiny, tiny little beak. And one thing that we need to make it is a hat. So, as you can see, I have a triangular thing. And again, I go through the thinnest setting, and just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do this. And then you grab a pencil or anything that's kind of sort of pointy at one end, and you start with, this is not thick enough. The best would be a pencil, but I guess I'm out of pencils here. Why didn't I check on this before starting? This is not. Ugh. I apologize. This should be thick enough. So you want it to be a little bit pointy. So start wrapping it like this. And then you can come and cut it to size. That's why I made that triangle the way it was. So I'm gonna place it on top of its head, a little bit to the side. And then bring it down. But actually, before bringing it down, we need to make a little fur trim. So I'm going to make a very, 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 very thin string. I'm trying to grab the string. And place it around the hat. Doesn't really have to go all around, but you get the gist. You make it go all around. And then stick the edge on it, make another little ball, and place it here. Excuse me. And then the next excuse me, I don't know what's going on. And then the next thing is grab the yellow and grab it on the thickest setting. And you get a little part, and then you can cut here and here, and put this to the side. And then I'm going to make a few fingers on his feet. Only needs 3. Hey, get off this table. Just doesn't want to get off. And there we go. We have a little penguin. I swear these feet. We have a little penguin. And then you put the eye screw going like this. I have no idea what's going on. Give me just a second. I think my throat is dry because, as I said, it's been quite cold. And the heat has been going on and on and on and on. Okay, so the second one, I know that we've made quite a bit of snowmen, but let's make one that's very simple again on the principle of one bead. So this one is going to have the Kawaii smile. So again, you make one bead. I recommend, I did post on Facebook on the Kalyana design page the playlist for the winter holidays. And please feel free to watch if you haven't watched them, or if you need a refresh. There's all kinds of pretty tutorials with ornaments and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so again, I'm getting some pomegranate red, and I'm going to also get some more black on a thin setting. And with the black, we're gonna make a top hat. There we go. Put it somewhere. Make sure that it is all I swear there's something going on. I think that Finnegan has been on the table again, and I need to start checking his cat holes, because he's got places in the house where he stashes stuff. Okay, so I am going to make a little, but actually this might be too difficult. Let's do something else, actually, because it might be too difficult for you. Let's grab a piece of black, make a bead out of it first. And then we are going to use this bead to make the top hat. So all we have to do is to flatten it and roll it a little bit more and flatten it again. It has to be about half the diameter of the bead. That's the snowman's face. And then we are going to grab a little actually you can do a round if you have a Kemper cutter, but I'm trying to show you how to do stuff without using a lot of tools, because sometimes when you have tools, but when you don't, you need to be able to do stuff without tools. I was thinking of, actually, I don't know if you remember, years ago I did put out a tutorial on how to make a pretty pendant without polymer clay related tools at all. And it was all done with, I think I used a pencil. This broke. What else? I used the toothpick. I used the eyeshadow. A glass. It breaks. I think I should have conditioned it a little bit more, but it is too wide anyway. Let me grab a thinner piece. And it came up pretty nice. I can, if you search on my channel for no tools, it should come up. Okay, so much better. This is actually too tall. There we go. just wrap it around. So yeah, did you know that originally the ornaments in the tree were actual nuts and apples and pine cones, and a lot of times they were just powdered with flour to make it look like snow. I still remember when I was a kid, and remember, I lived in communist Romania, so there weren't a lot of ornaments. Yeah, I figured out. I hope I'm okay now. Thank you, Beth. Hi, Janine. And I'm going to grab a little red. Again on the thinnest setting, and get a very, very tiny sliver of it. And I'm going to place it around right above the, let me try and do this, right above the brim of the hat. So yeah, if you were wondering, yes, I would make these even smaller than what I'm doing now. I should have put this on a mirror so I could turn it around. And you want it to go against the middle cylinder. But see the difference how my camera doesn't look like it used to. I hate it when they do this type of updates that are absolutely horrible. Okay, so, and the whole lighting seems off. Okay, now I can get my and make sure it's nice and well against the hat itself. And we can work with that. And we can place it on there we go. Now we go again with two tiny eyes. And I hope I do a better job than I did with a penguin. So yeah, as I was saying, back in Romania there wasn't a lot of stuff when it comes to Christmas when I was a kid, especially considering the fact that communists always promoted atheism. So of course, even if everybody was going to the church and stuff, it was on the down low. So I remember that my parents were both smokers. And once upon a time, the the metallic foil in the packs of cigarettes used to be various colors. It wasn't just silver like it is now. And also sometimes some candy was covered in metallic foil that was of various colors. So we would save them throughout the year. And then when Christmas time came, we would just cut them in thin strips and then make like little chains with them using Elmer's glue. Yes, Elmer's glue is I think it's an international thing. Now we need to make him that cute little smile. So I'm going to make a very tiny string. I know that here, if I'm not mistaken, the tradition was to use macaroni, wasn't it? It's not long enough. I cut it too short. I don't know, it's the black that always sticks to my fingers for some reason. Oh, I got it too much on this side. There we go. And you can also add, if you so desire, give me just a second. Let me zoom out a little. And I don't want a lot of stuff. I only want a little bit. Oops. That's all we need. Yeah, and I remember that the only Christmas ornaments you could get from abroad were the ones from the USSR. One thing is to be said though, they had gorgeous, there's a legend, fairy tale legend, however you want to call it, in Russian folklore, of Snegorочка. Snegorочка is the snow maiden. And I don't even remember the whole legend. I remember the fact that there is a legend, fairy tale, however you want to call it. But they did wonderful dolls with that. And I know I had like 2 of those dolls, and the other thing that they were making gorgeous was the Father Christmas. Oh yeah, of course, during the communism, it wasn't Father Christmas, it was kind of like Father Frost. But they were beautiful. I know that I have no idea what happened with those dolls. I think they stayed with my mom at one point, because I moved quite a bit after I became an adult. And a lot of stuff was left with my mom, and it was ruined, of course. But I was looking at one point, I was looking online for dolls like that. So there we go, we have a cute little snowman that you can make earrings out of. And the next thing, I'm going to go also with white. And they are so darn expensive now. I mean, they are vintage dolls, and they go for thousands of dollars. They were porcelain head dolls, and the only thing that was they had the hands also made out of porcelain, and I don't know what the hair was made of, but they had the hair braided in one braid that was fairly thick and was going all the way down to their ankles. But they had gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't know if you're familiar with the traditional Russian costume. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can bring it up. This won't be. Oops. Okay. Let me put vintage doll. I know I'm not going to find one like mine right away, but hey, you know that thing when you go one. So no, it was not a nesting doll, but oops, sorry. They have in the traditional costume, they have this, they have beautiful, beautiful dresses, and they have this, it's kind of like a tiara. But we are talking about stuff happening like 50 years ago, so that's why those dolls are so expensive, if anybody has one still. Let me try the regular without vintage, and if not, I'm gonna try costume, because that way it would give you an idea. No, I'm telling you, it took me like half a day to find one like that. Yeah, it's kind of something like this. See on the right side, this is the traditional Snegorochka costume, and I love those dolls. Anyway, so let's get back to the next thing. So for the next thing, just to make sure that I get the, so we start again with a white bead, and of course I have so many bits and pieces that my white bead gets contaminated. So I'm going to grab a piece of white, And why I'm doing that is because I want both of them to be similar in size. So I'm going to grab two pieces that are very much identical. I'm making two beads. And then I'm going to take flatten them a little bit, then take my ball stylus and then very gently, I dropped some clay on the floor, very gently cut about 1/3, pretty much where the little indentation is. Okay, this one needs a little bit more indentation. And make sure that the ears are round. You don't want them to look like a cat. So it's simple. If you want to make a cat, you just make those ears pointy, right? So I'm gonna put the mouth first on this one. So very, 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 very thin. And yes, I know I'm having, remember I told you that I have this weird atypical eczema that causes the skin on my fingers to peel off, and it's entirely stress related. Okay, you get off this. And as I said, I'm going through a lot of stress right now. I might tell you about it next Sunday. But not much I can do about it, because it's not a matter of diet, it's not treatable. So all I can do is to just keep putting cream on my hands. That's all I can do. And this, what you can do is you can use a paintbrush to put just a little bit of blush here, and then you can give it a little scarf. So these are quite simple, I know, but they are absolutely delightful when the holidays come around, and especially for kids. So I'm sure that a lot of you have. If you want, you can give it one of those hats like for the penguin. You can put a hat on it, exactly like for the penguin. Do you have any idea of what something else that you want to see, or I'm going to start on the next one? Let me see, I had here my list. Oh, we did, oh yes, I was going to do you can do a little star with yellow, but that is so simple, it's kind of, I don't want to waste your time on it. Let me see. A little gingerbread man. For the little gingerbread man, you can use a beige with a little bit of a brown on it, or you can simply use some cadmium yellow and give it a pinch of black, a pinch of red. The pinch of red should be about twice the size of the piece of pinch of black, and this should make a good gingerbready. You need normally, under normal conditions, mixing black and yellow would give you brown. When it comes to polymer clay, especially with Primo, the yellow has a green type pigment in it, and because of that, if you mix just yellow and black, you're going to get a very dark green. So you need to counteract that with the red. That's why I told you to. But also, if you think under normal conditions, if you mix orange with a pinch of black, you get brown. So here what we want is a gingerbread type brown. I might have to add a pinch more red, but it might come up just fine. We'll see here in a second. So what have you done for are you preparing already for Christmas, or what are you planning in terms of goodies? I know I promised my best friend to make her one of those Romanian breads. I think I've shown you before the braided breads. If I didn't, give me just a second. I am going to find it for you. My albums. Don't worry, I keep mixing here. It's not like I'm not. It's not here. Should be in my Easter, because I think the last time I did it on Easter. Yes, there you go. Let me get this in display. There you go. One of these. And my friend told me that it took them a while hold on, I didn't, there we go, display capture is now on. It took them a while before they ate it because it was so pretty they they didn't want to mess it up. So yeah. Alrighty, so I think that I am fairly close with the gingerbread thing. So this I wouldn't do as a bead. This one I would do it as a flat because obviously gingerbread men are flat, right? Hey, almost dropped it. Alrighty, so you can go with it. I mean, you can make a bigger batch and just go with it through the machine, obviously. So first of all, of course, we do the eyes. And again, I'm going to grab a couple black dots. Gosh, I hope I don't get a cold or something, a virus. I'm an idiot, and lately I've been out in the public without a mask. I need to get in the habit of putting the mask, wearing the mask again, because I guess we got again COVID and RSV. And last year, this is exactly about the time that I got that RSV infection that I got sick like a dog over the weekend. And again, a tiny mouth, smiling mouth. The only thing we are going to do about it is I'm going to give it a frosting rim. Which will be done with white, of course. And we start on one end, and then you kind of guide it with the needle. And the other thing that we can give it is, go here, we need something straight. Don't put them together. Leave a little bit of space. And then you get a little square. And you put it right in the middle here. And the best thing to do after you do all this is to give it a tiny a tiny burnishing, not a lot. You don't have it to be completely flat, but something pretty much like this. So there we go. We have, remember to use an eye screw. Yeah, on the penguin I don't like how I place the eyes, but it's still kind of cute-ish. Let me turn down these lights a little. And there we go. We have 4 types of earrings that you can use, and except for the gingerbread man, they are all bead style, so they are a little bit less complicated than the ones we did before, because the ones we did before were full body pretty much, if I remember right. I know that out of all the winter holidays tutorials I did, the most difficult was that Spirit of Winter, and then sculpting a reindeer. So I hope you enjoyed it, and as I said, I'm working on stuff, but I have other things. This week I wasted like 4 days on the phone, and I mean, I talked on the phone at least 7 hours each day, and then I had to lay down because I was absolutely and utterly exhausted. It's a lot of mental exhaustion. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday. I am planning on showing you how to make some gorgeous winter beads that would be good not just for the holidays but for winter in general, and I'll have a few made ahead of time so I can show you how the finite product looks like, and then we'll make a couple beads together. Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and happy Christmas shopping, because it's horrible. Yesterday we only went to the Goodwill and to the Dollar Tree, and you will not believe how busy it was. I go to the Dollar Tree because I get my reading glasses from there. They're only $1.50, and they last a little bit longer than the cheapest one you can buy from Amazon. So yeah, I like to buy several pairs at a time and just leave one in each room so I don't have to look for them all the time. Thank you so much. Again, don't forget to thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to check that Winter Holidays playlist. Okay? Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.